How are you? I know we're excited to have our guest on again today because ultimately he's saving lives in so many ways. How are you, Sherry?
I love saving lives. And thank you, Neil. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Love being here. And yes, we have Nelson McElveen back, and he is the CEO of Century H2O. And when he told me about this water system, I was blown away. Like, oh my gosh. I think he's got people who love him. And then because he's doing so much good, he probably has some people not loving him so much. But anyway, he's going to talk to us more about it. But he also has a new potable unit that,
Yes.
yes, that it removes parasites and bacteria.
Yes.
And it's the only one like this. And so I want to learn all about it. Welcome, Nelson. How are you?
Good. How about yourself, Sherry?
Good, good, good. So, talk to us a little bit, maybe go back a little bit more about the water system. And then I want to hear about what you've got going on now.
Okay, so we pride ourselves in the fact that what we have and left in the water. Okay, so we really don't have any magical potion. We just use the water as it was given to us by God how many thousands of years ago, right? Everything we need is in the water. It's not a situation where, don't take it out of the water because you need it. So we're finding that it is the what we oh, here's another thing. What we've gone to now is because we put oxygen in the water, that's no big deal because it's there. And because we keep the magnesium and the calcium and we boost it, and that changes it to a pH of, it makes it alkaline. Um, where it is now water that is hydrated. Okay, so it's a water now that it will go in and take care of any kind of ailments that we may have. You know how everybody's talking about this new water everybody wants. It has the all these benefits to it.
Yeah.
It's already in the water, guys. We just make it better now.
Yeah. And Nelson, I'm going to go into that's where a lot of the people who are biohacking look at that expensive water that people buy. What is that? I'm sure you've heard of it, especially in the watering business. It's amazing. So that's the water everyone wants. And you
And
can
this
do
is
it
what we're
with your
giving you now. What we found out, we just found this out. What we don't have is the numbers yet. Okay. So we're waiting for the lab to tell us what the numbers are. They got to be 0.5 or better. Okay. So you've heard of Dana White, right? He's out
Yes.
promoting this new type of water, right?
Right.
We already have it in our water. When you add magnesium and calcium and you boost it in your water, this is what you come up with. So the water that we're giving you now has all the benefits, and you don't have to spend a lot of money to get the product. It's $350. You start drinking it. That's what we're giving you. Okay. So we don't have the numbers. So I'm not saying that is like over the top crazy. When the labs come back with our numbers in the next week or so, we're going to know exactly that's what we're putting in the water or what you're getting out of the water. But that's not the exciting thing. What Sherry was alluding to was we can take out parasites and bacteria out of the water without chlorine or ammonia or what we call chloramines. We do it with paper. And this is a filter that is used on our space station for the astronauts. So we have been giving the rights, the North American rights, from a company out of Finland to take the paper
Wow.
and use it. So we are now come out with a portable system that preppers, people that just want to have something in their closet in case the water goes bad, this
Right.
you'll be able to carry it with you. We use it in the horse industry and we use it in the camping industry. You hook this up to your camper, you're hanging on the fence, and now you're filtering your water at a level that is above and beyond anything that's on the market.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
It is.
Yes. And all this has
Yeah.
been developed in the last several years. And we finally got, we do everything by testing. So we had to get our test back before we could actually put this on the marketplace. But you will see this on our website within the next 30 days, less than 30 days. And the product will sell for under $500. And you can carry this. Horses, when we give it, we already have this in the horse industry. They go ballistic over this water. And it's so what do you do with horses? You give them ivermectin to take the parasites out of their body, correct? Right?
That's
Because
right.
they drink well water, they
Right.
drink river water. Now you're going to be able to go through our filter, and that will cut down on that component in the horse or any other living animal.
Oh, wow. And this is the kind of water people are spending, you said with Dana White, but there's also this, what kind of water is that, Nelson, that's out there that costs like $10,000?
Kingdon.
Huh?
It's like a Kingdon unit.
Yeah.
Okay. You put that on there and it changes your water to a alkaline water, and it goes by like a 9.0 pH, right?
Right.
So, but here's the sad thing. They do it with electricity. Electricity only lasts in the water for 7 days. So 7 days after you do this, you got regular water again. If you buy any alkaline water in the world, it's done with electricity. We do it with minerals. Minerals mean once I changed it, it stays like that forever. So if you take water out of a lake, a river, creek, a bed, a river, anything of that nature, a creek, it is already alkaline because it has minerals in it, right?
Right. Totally.
But you can't drink it unless you drink it through our filter because it also has parasites and other things in it. That's the difference here.
Unreal.
So we're changing the world of water as we speak. We are actually putting together in the state of Texas, we're putting together a factory, 100,000 square foot factory in the state of Texas, and the governor is involved with us on producing these filters. This
It's
is a
unreal.
very big deal. So, you know how I don't know, you know how churches raise money and then they send money over to Africa so they can, so they can go and build wells. You've heard that whole concept,
Yeah.
right? Wrong, because that well is poison. It's 100% poison. When you drink the water out of it, it isn't good for you. It has bacteria, it has parasites in it, it has all these things in it, right? Our filter, which we build in all different sizes, I can drop in there. They call them boreholes. Drop it in a borehole and drink the water. It's a drinkable product now.
That's
Now,
fantastic.
What
Go
I
ahead.
think is so interesting is that your water, not only is it pure, that has no parasites and bacteria, but you kill it. You kill any. And I think that's awesome. And, I had years ago, I bought a little, portable unit. I think it was carbon or charcoal or something
Yeah.
that was supposed to do something with the water. I never used it, never had to use it, but yours sounds so much better. And looking into stuff about even plastic bottles that are in water that, especially if it gets hot, it releases something into the water that's not good for you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me share with you how that works. Okay. So you go and you buy your spring water. Let's say you buy it from Alaska. Okay. Northern Canada, someplace where you got this great water, you think. Okay. Unfortunately, the federal government forces them to use reverse osmosis once it comes out of the ground. So they strip all the good stuff is gone. Then they may add some stuff back into it so it has a little different taste. But here's the sad thing. In that bottle, they have to put some kind of chemicals in it so it doesn't grow bacteria. Okay? So now you're getting a poison put back in the water. That's not what you're speaking of. You're speaking of the plastic, okay? So let me tell you how plastic works because I'm in the plastic industry. I used to make
That's
those
right.
bottles. I make plastic widgets, okay? That's another business of ours. So here's what happens. This is a PET material. It's kind of clean. It's pretty clean material. But here's your problem. You fill it up with this water. You put it in the back of a semi because it has to come from Alaska to your home. And a semi is like a pressure cooker. It's a hunk of steel walls, right? So when it's 90 degrees outside, and it's driving through, let's say Arizona, hits 120. Inside that truck hits 180, 190, because the metal makes it hotter. That's when plastic starts breaking down. So nano bits of plastic in that bottle break off, go into your water. You drink the water. Now it's in your system, and that goes into here's what we're finding out, guys. That plastic is getting into your blood cells, your veins, inside your blood, and clogging up your arteries. That's how big this is getting. We're finding this plastic goes anywhere it wants to go once it's inside your body.
Yeah, I had even heard that it affected your brain for
Yes,
dementia.
yes. It goes, well,
Okay,
where's
so
blood
you
go?
confirm that.
Blood goes to your
Yeah.
brain, right? It goes anywhere, anywhere it wants to go, it moves, right? So how do you get around that? Go out and buy yourself a stainless steel not aluminum, stainless steel tumbler. Okay. Oh, well, I buy water in a metal can. You've heard of the companies that sell water in metal cans. They're aluminum. They have a plastic liner inside of them. So you still get to enjoy the plastic if you buy any water on the shelf. You're stuck. So go out and get yourself, guys, a stainless steel tumbler. Stainless steel is clean. It's not going to leach any poisons into your body, right? Then you get our system underneath your sink, portable, whatever you want to do. You get our system and then you take that tumbler, fill it up with ice from the system and water from the system, put the lid on it, and it'll be good for a big, you can get a 20-ounce tumbler. In Arizona, we live with these things. You do not go out of your house without a tumbler because you will be like, if your car breaks down, like if you're living in other parts of the country where it's cold and your car breaks down, you have to have a blanket, right? In Arizona, you better have a tumbler of water because you better stay hydrated or you will die. It's that serious, right? Because, we're running right now, we're running about 100 degrees and the summer hasn't started yet. So we'll be at 110, 115, somewhere in that range. And that's what we live with. So you have to be prepared. And this will keep you prepared. So that's what I'm suggesting. And wait, so when you guys go and buy your special water, what do you pay for your special water? A lot.
Yeah.
I think
right?
you get 40 bottles for $5 or something.
Okay. I don't know how many 40 bottles equals, but how would you like, if you take your water from your tap, run it through our system, okay? That water is extra heavy oxygen. Oxygen's good for everything, right? It's got magnesium and calcium boosted. You need that to keep your body happy, right? Without magnesium, life gets ugly real quick. No more leg cramps, right? Then you got alkaline water. And then you have this hydrogenated water that is on top of all that. But let's go to the alkaline water. Alkaline water destroys acid in your body, which makes cancer. Okay.
Right.
So this is what you have. And you have a water now that is not poison. It has no poisons in it, no fluoride. We take the fluoride out at 100%. We pull out arsenic, chromium-6, boron, all heavy metals. Oh, wait. How would you like to be drinking water that has vinyl chloride in it? We get rid of that for you. And then we get out all the pharmaceuticals. So all your PFAs are gone, all your plastics gone, our PFOs, and all your vaccines are gone. So when I take a vaccine, when I take chemicals in, and I go to the bathroom, you get to drink them. Sooner or later, you're drinking them. Everything into the ground and comes back out of it, right? We scrub all that. And we have special carbons designed to scrub all that. So it's not me making this stuff up.
Right.
Yeah. And then we have the EPA test it all. So they tell us that we're doing the right thing. So that's where you're at in life. You want to live healthier. You want to live better. You want all those lines in your face to go away because you're hydrated now. You're not drinking dead water. Then we are the only game in town for that. And that's the level that we're starting to move to. So you guys want to go and you want to have a prepping product, you're going to see that come up pretty soon. You got horses? You're going to love this one, guys. You've heard the old saying, I didn't know this was a real deal. But if you have a horse, you can lead it to water, but you can't make it drink. You've heard of that saying?
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that. They got this thing on their face called a nose, and they can smell the poisons in the water. So they'll only drink out of their own bucket. So we're sponsoring 3 horses right now. The #1 jumper in the country. We did a little test with her out here at Westworld. There are 700 horses. We put their bucket down, which they only drink out of because they can smell themselves in that bucket, right? They're smart.
Right.
Then we put our bucket down, same color, same everything. And they drank 2.5 gallons out of our bucket and wouldn't touch their water. And they drank it. They're like, this isn't their drinking time. And they all drank it because they could smell the cleanliness and how pure it is. Calves are the same way. We put our water down, the calves will wean. Don't take our water, they don't want to wean. We're losing 50% of our cattle because of that problem, the poison in the water. Dogs go nuts over this water. And if you have a pet and you want your pet to live longer, give them this water. we have a dog rescue. So we have dogs that come and never leave. My wife's that way. Every dog needs, right? We have 14 at any given time. They're not even my dogs. Okay. So we give them this water. I got 3 dogs over the age of 17 that are medium-sized dogs.
Wow.
I got one dog,
Wow.
21 years old. It's a little dog, Yorkshire, little Yorkshire, right? So what I'm telling you is, I don't know what's going on. Maybe these are just uniquely different animals. I don't know that, but I'm telling you this: dogs will drink this water before they eat steak. We test them all the time with the steak, and they won't.
Wow.
They'll drink all the water till it's gone. They don't get up and go to the bathroom anymore than they did before. It's a whole different game. So if you have if you have a pet that you want it to be around, even a cat, they get it. They smell it. They know what's in the water, and they drink it. And they don't. It makes them healthy. So you're basically giving pH water. So you're buying this expensive pH water and giving it to your dog, right? You're buying oxygenated water, you're giving it to your dog. You're buying hydrogenated water, you're giving it to your dog. All these things you're giving to your dog. Magnesium, calcium. So you're doing your dog a good turn. And that's what this water does. I don't have all the answers. All I know is it works. I mean, we have people come to us with all kinds of ailments and they disappeared. We don't know why. They just disappeared. The only thing we know is they disappeared after they started drinking water. Prior to that, they had it, like skin cancer, things like that, weird stuff. That's the exciting part of it. So, yeah, that's the water we're talking about, guys, and it's reasonable. You're talking a few $100. You're not talking about a lot of money, and you'll never be out. Here's the cool part. I used to go to the big C store, and buy flats of water here in Arizona. Everybody
Right.
in my factory, right? They're all like dying because these machines run at 700 degrees on top of 110. So, we have air conditioning, but that struggles, and everybody dry heat dries you out. Your heat is different, right? You guys live in the East, right? So your heat's totally different. Got a little humidity, so you got a little moisture in it, right? Out here, it ain't like that. So everybody gets a bottle of water. And I'm out buying this one. I said to myself one day, why don't I just buy water stations, put our system in? And now, here's the problem I got. People can't get enough of it. Your body, when you drink this water, you never get full. You want more. It just wants more. And that's a good thing because now you're really like cleaning out all the toxins, right? So that's the biggest difference I can tell you. It's a whole different process. It's not our own.
Right. Quite interesting. Go, Cherry.
Yeah, it just sounds so exciting, especially the timeliness. Like I wasn't expecting to find that information on the water bottles. So, in my head, I'm thinking, well, I don't want to get dementia and I don't want to get sick and get stuff in my body like that. So what can you do? And my thought was filter. You can get a filter and I would think, yeah, you got to keep out of the plastic, keep it away.
Well,
Yeah.
now that you mentioned that, so our system is made out of plastic. Okay. You ask yourself, okay, why? Well, the water sits in a container, right? And the plastic is leaching into the water. We use a special plastic, okay? And there's one plastic out there that works, only one. It's called polypropylene. The reason it works is most plastics don't skin up. Most plastics, you can weld them or glue them together. You can't do that with polypropylene. It puts a skin over the plastic, so it seals itself. And what we do is we go to a company that does these extraction tests. So it extracts what's in that plastic out, and only polypropylene will pass the test. PET bottles, they won't pass the test. And why they use PET is because they can blow mold it into any shape you want. The nice square bottles that look kind of cool, right? Or round bottles. They can do that. Or any container that's out there that has a wild, like your Tide bottle, those are all blow molded, okay? And they're cheap, very cheap. That's why they use that material. The cost is all, follow the money. You guys will know what you're getting into, right? So what I'm saying is, guys, don't go down that path. If you want to be healthy, what they're finding, okay, how do I put this nicely? Water matters. Your body is what, 70, 80, 90% water? You're a giant sponge, correct? And if your water's contaminated, if your water has no value in it, you're hurting yourself. It's really simple. You're not doing your body any favors, right? So you got to find a product that works. And what we've been looking for that product. I used to build RO systems for a living. I made a good living off of that. And I asked the companies to leave because I didn't want to do business with them anymore. And that's when we started this product. Okay. So we took and we put our financial world in jeopardy because we felt that what they were giving you was just straight up poison. I mean, when you take your water and you destroy it, and then women have to go get Botox. Why? Because you're drinking water that's not hydrating your body. So now you're getting lines and things are happening that shouldn't be happening, right? Hydration, if you're a sponge and you're 90% water or 80%, water makes you look good, right? Water makes women, makes men look the way they should. When you take that element out, you don't look, you age. You don't look right. And then you have all these other things you're going to do and spend your money on for no reason at all. Try hydrogenated water first. Try water that has minerals in it first before you go and do things that you're going to regret. You know, that's just, like I said, that's the way I look at life. And I'm going to tell you something. If you protect everything that you put into your body, be careful with it, scrutinize it, scrutinize our product. Don't take a word that I say as gospel. You go out and you look at what we're doing and you read up on it, you'll come to the same conclusion I have, that water matters and the kind of water really matters. So think about, so in the Carolinas with all the problems, we're going to be able to go into the Carolinas with this new filter and they're going to be able to drink the water that's 100% poison right now. And they're going to be able to drink it. That's where we're at with this whole thing. It's a game changer when it comes to people's health. And
that's awesome.
When the wealthy of Europe, so whatever you want to call them in this world, they're drinking our water, there's a reason for that. Because they can afford to drink any of that spring water that you're talking about, Sherry. They can drink all that water, right? They can have it delivered to their house. They can have it flowing to their home, right? They ain't touching it. They do not drink bottled water. And they don't have ROs. Actually, you're going to love this one. In Europe, they outlawed salt systems. They're not allowed to put them anywhere because they make the groundwater slurry. That means if you take the salt system out, you don't need the RO system. They are drinking and using our home systems because we use a resin and carbon to clean the water. They figured it out. And that's what they're using instead of salt systems. Those things are poison to your body. Think about it. Take a shower and you have a salt system in your home. All that salt's going onto your skin, into your body. You absorb it, right? You're a sponge. You absorb it. So you're actually putting salt. So then the doc says to you, Sherry, you got to cut back on your salt intake. In other words, you better quit taking a shower. It ain't what you put on your food. It's what you're putting on your skin, right? People don't get it. They do these things and they walk away saying, what do I do now? I don't use salt as it is. Well, yeah, you are. You're taking a shower in salt. So these are the things we can help you with.
All right. Well, I mean, this is so interesting. Sherry, any other questions you have for him?
No,
Nelson?
yes.
Mhm.
If somebody is wanting to get a hold of you, if they're wanting to check out your water system, how do they get a hold of you? Where do they go, Nelson? And do
Okay.
they get a promo?
Yes, they do. They do. Sherry, we developed a promo code for you, right? And what we should do is instead of telling people, we should put it up on your screen for your next show so they know what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise they forget. I mean, but
WNC, Western North Carolina.
that's right. So that's where we go. And then the other thing is you go to Century, H2O, Century with an S, H2O.com. And the store is right there. You use the promo code and you get a 10% discount. Okay. And that way, and also you will be, when you do that, you'll be taking care of the program. because we give back to the program, guys. So that's something that you may want to look into. If you live in a townhouse, lease a home, apartment, we have a shower filter that goes on your shower, and it's good for 3,300 gallons of water. And it'll give you oxygenated, clean water. It's a catalytic carbon. It's potable water. You can drink the water, actually. And then you have the under the sink, which goes in. And when you leave, you take it out and nobody knows you're there. You're not drilling holes in your countertop. You're not doing anything of that nature. Those are two items that we recommend. And if you have your own home, if you take a house system, your hot water tank gets cleaned out. Your on-demand hot water tank will never have scale in it. So you'll have a guy coming washing it out with vinegar. Your wash machine will be mold and fungus free. The oxygen scrubs that out. Your dishwasher, no water spots. How would you like to have a dishwasher with no water spots? And then your shower, you're showering in oxygenated, clean water. That's the difference, guys. And it's a game changer in your health. It's a health product. It's not, we're not out there to give you drinking water per se. We're out to change your health. And your health starts with drinking and bathing. And if you don't get those two things right, you're in trouble. And if oh, wait, hey, here's a cool thing. What if you had like out here in Arizona, we all have pools. Everybody has a pool, right? You got to put chlorine in it to kill the bacteria that grows in water. I get that. But how would you like to have water that doesn't have any arsenic in it, fluoride? Because if you're swimming in fluoride, where do you think that's going? Through your skin. You're getting it. No arsenic, no chromium-6, no PFAs, no vaccines. All that stuff is in your water when it comes through your faucet, right? We clean it. Your pool is clean. And then you add your chlorine because you have to because of the bacterial problem. But you're basically swimming in clean water. And and that magnesium and calcium that you leave in the water, when you swim in it and when you take a shower in that goes through your skin. I just found that out, that your body will pull the magnesium and calcium through your skin right into your body. So you're getting a double dose of all the good stuff.
Well, I don't know about you. When I go swimming, somehow I always ingest water. So, wherever I'm at, whether it's the ocean, a lake, a pool, somehow I'm getting some water in, whether it's in my mouth or nose. So I guess it'd be better to get your water in than the chloride or chlorine water.
Well, Sherry, think about it. When you go into the pool, now your body is that sponge, right? And it just absorbs all that stuff through your skin. We don't think that way, do we? I mean, we don't want to believe that the world that we've created is toxic. We don't want to think that way. Nobody wants to think that way. Unfortunately, it's true. So all I'm saying is, guys, think about this from you got to think past what you want to believe, because we all want to believe we've done everything right. And trust me, when I had to sit down that day and say, guys, we're going to ask you all to take your molds, take all your products and leave. We don't want to do business with you. That's not an easy thing to do. You're like, am I going to be able to keep my doors open by doing this, right? And that was the decision that we made because we felt that strongly that what is being served to the people in this country is 100% poison. And that's a big decision to make. That's all I'm saying, guys. So we feel that we connected with the right people. Our chemist is Deepak Chopra, is our chemist that we work with over in Germany. We feel that we connect with all the right individuals. And what we're seeing now is good. We're getting reviews from people and they're telling us things that are happening health-wise that is kind of crazy. But if you think about the big picture and take all the chatter out of this world, just think about how important water is. I can live 7 days, 11 days without food. I can live 3 without water. So if you think about that, water is like the most important thing in your life. So why would we want to have chlorine and ammonia in it? I don't know.
Exactly. And I think, Nelson, where can people see, like, some of the transformational stories and stuff of this?
They're all on the website. You go to the website, you see the reviews, you can see what people have happened to them. I can tell you some But the problem being is we're not trying to make claims, We don't want to say drink this water, you're gonna be, everything's gonna go away. That's not what we're trying to say. What we're saying is water matters, clean water matters. We can give you that, and then we can see where you go from there, right? Because when you're drinking water, it's full of toxins, fluoride. We know now that fluoride is poison, right? Unfortunately, here's a sad note. Back, Robert Kennedy wants to take all the fluoride out of the water that we're putting in. You agree? I mean, that's all been stated.
Yeah.
And there are states that are actually trying to do that. There's a situation, guys, that you can't get away from. And this was discovered in the 1800s. Fluoride is a byproduct of the ground. All water has fluoride in it. Okay? So there's only one way to remove fluoride that we know of well, there's two ways, but the one way that we know and we use is a product called bone char. We bring it in from Scotland. And what they do is they take the animals, the cows and whatnot, they take their bones, they grind them up to a powder form. We put that in our products called bone char. And what that does is when the fluoride passes through the bone char, the fluoride sticks to the animal bones. And that's how we remove it out of the water at 100%. So regardless of how the government gets into this fluoride conversation, there's always going to be fluoride in the water. And we have a way to remove it unequivocally at 100%. We're removing the level they're putting in Florida right now, which is astronomically high. We're taking that out, okay? There are carbons out there that will remove fluoride, but when they overdose it, and when they do the things they're doing, we don't know at what level and how to do that. But we do know bone char does what it's supposed to do every time. It has never failed us yet. So those are things that we are involved in and how we've gone about. And bone char is taxed at a rate that's astronomically. For 1 pound of bone char, it costs $100 a pound because they don't want it in this country. And they come up with this concept back in the 1800s. Back in the 1800s, they knew that fluoride was bad for you. They knew what it did prior to pharma, and they removed it out of the water with bone char.
Okay. Well, Nelson, we definitely got to visit the website. And what's the code again for people that want to?
WNC.
Sherry knows it.
WNC for Western North Carolina.
That's right. So the other thing is what we need to do, Sherry, is get back into how we're going to help those people again. We sent in another 50 systems last week.
Wow.
Okay.
That's great.
So we just need to figure out what our next steps are to go further with them. But yeah, get your people on it. They will not regret it at all. This is something that will be is a life change situation for people. Women love it. Men, we don't know what we're doing half the time when it comes to health. Listen to your wife. They'll tell you what to do, and water does matter. It will change everything about you.
And animals love it.
What's that?
And animals love it too.
Oh gosh, they're the smartest. Every animal that has a nose, their noses are not like ours, and they know things. And it's like it's a little comical to watch how they manage their water. If you follow your horse or you follow your dog, you won't ever drink the water that comes out of the tap or even bottled water. They don't even like bottled water. They're not dummies. We are.
Absolutely. They are like, no, thank you. But we're like, okay.
Yes.
So what website again, Nelson?
Century with an S, H2O.com.
All right.
And
that was it's fantastic. That was the special simulcast Neil Haley Show on the Storehouse Media Group podcast, guys. Take care and go to